All it takes is one bad day, goes a great Joker quote. And apparently, the media doesn't understand that either. They have been on a weeks-long trash fest of the Joker movie and placing blame on the movie for something that it has entirely zero control over. This is the age-old guilt by association, or it's the removal of personal responsibility. This week was peak wokeness in an interview with Joaquin Phoenix that led him to leave the interview in the middle after the ridiculous question that he was asked. Now, will The Joker be a great movie? That remains to be seen. All indications point to yes. Can people be influenced by a movie in one way or another, I think, is a bigger question. One that I'm not sure I definitely have an answer for. I think it's definitely possible, at least, but ultimately you're the person who is making certain decisions, and to place blame at the footsteps of an actor who is just doing their job, or a film which is just setting out to entertain, is absurd. But people need their headlines. Controversial Joker question had Joaquin Phoenix walking out of an interview. Now, Joaquin Phoenix is known for some bizarre behavior. In fact, the director of this film, I don't know if it's in this article or one of the other articles I wrote, said that he would actually frequently walk out in the middle of a scene or whatever the case may be. He's just a weird dude. I mean, that's basically all I can say. If you want a sample of it, look at his interview on Dave Letterman. He's just really a bizarre dude. Joaquin Phoenix is out promoting the upcoming Joker movie. Doing interviews isn't always the most exciting thing for an actor to take part in, as they often have to answer the same questions over and over again. Right. Junket tours, is that what they call them? However, Phoenix was caught off guard by one particular question in a recent interview, which prompted him to walk out. While Joker has been getting heaps of praise by people who've actually seen the film, there's been some critics that worry that the comic book movie may glorify bad behavior. How about all the mobster movies? How about, I don't know, all the Fast and Furious movies where they're driving irresponsibly? Is anybody writing those stories? It's because it's the perfect combination, and this might be an inconvenient truth for you, but as far as I've seen, it is the truth. And that is that it's because he's a white male. There is absolutely nothing else that I can point to that is driving this level of criticism, that is being passed through the movie to the actor, to the males that will see this film. That is what I believe. Now, I'm open to somebody convincing me of something otherwise, but I've yet to see any evidence. The Joker takes a different approach to the typical origin story for the Clown Prince of Crime. Joaquin Phoenix plays Arthur Fleck, a man who is slowly going mad while society casts him aside. The movie centers on Fleck getting his revenge against his detractors, and some are worried that the movie might inspire people in similar situations to the same thing in real life. Why is that the fault of the movie? This is just the next level of the same criticism that I have zero time for of you, my viewers, or any other viewers of any other video, where they'll say, you're responsible for what your viewers do after they see your content. Bull. They are responsible for it. They are 100% responsible for their own actions. This type of behavior has become commonplace in a society. We live in a society where everybody is taught from an early age that it's everybody else's fault why they didn't succeed. And kids that grow up with participation trophies and all this baloney is why we have this situation now where a movie is being blamed for somebody, going nuts. For example, when we saw the situation with The Dark Knight, how many people saw that movie? 100 million? I don't know. Many, many millions. One idiot did something stupid. It's not the movie's fault at all. The movie had nothing to do with it. Phoenix was asked if Joker might pervasively end up inspiring exactly the kind of people it's about with potential tragic results. Instead of answering the question, the actor got up and left the interview. Good. What a ridiculous question to ask. Did you ask actors in Star Wars if they thought it would inspire people to come up with lightsabers and battle in the streets? Did you ask all the old action heroes if they would inspire bad things? These are ridiculous questions. Joaquin Phoenix later came back and finished the interview after talking with Warner Brothers PR over the question. There have been waves of bad events in North America over the past several years. In the summer of 2012, this is the Dark Knight story. That was awful. Awful, awful, awful scenario. There have been other types of things. Regardless, the Joker is poised to be a hit in the box office. Joaquin Phoenix's intense process to get into character has been widely talked about as it took its toll on his actor. He lost 50 pounds to get into the clown Prince of Crimes mindset, though if he had his way, he kept his own weight. It was the director Todd Phillips who's pushing for the massive weight loss, which was monitored by doctors and other health professionals. Phoenix drank a lot of water and ate lettuce to shed the pounds. Joker is hardly the first movie to get caught up in real-world controversy, and far from the last. Blumhouse's The Hunt was supposed to hit theaters at the end of the month, but the studio decided to pull the movie after a wave of bad things. No, that wasn't actually what it was about, as far as I could tell. I think there was all sorts of backlash about actively hunting people you call deplorables, elites hunting deplorables. That said, that movie should have came out too. The second you start worrying about what your artistic freedom will influence people to do is the second you've got a dull movie, the second you've got unfunny comedians, you've got boring comic books, you've got milquetoast video game stories, you've got sitcoms that are all the same. Nobody takes any risks anymore, and it's partly because of this type of culture that it's blame culture, and everybody's afraid. This article has a picture of Freddy Krueger. Do you think if they thought, boy, do you think anybody else out there would burn themselves up and then like go into people's dreams and do these bad things? I mean, do you think directors thought about, what Jason Voorhees might do, inspire people to do, or Michael Myers? No, and these movies are iconic for that reason. Most of modern cinema these days is entirely, and I mean entirely, forgettable. Why? Why do you think that is? Because taking risks are not rewarded as evenly as keeping the status quo. When you put out a film, you take some risks, you might offend some people, and it's just not worth it. Studios don't want to back that kind of stuff anymore. If I look at this summer, there was that movie Midsummer, which I thought was a great concept, poorly executed, but I went and saw it anyway because I thought, man, here's something that's different. Or the horror movie, It Follows. Or, these are things that are unique and will stand the test of time, while the overwhelming majority of modern cinema is completely forgettable. And actors like Joaquin Phoenix shouldn't have to answer these types of questions or feel at any moment that he had any responsibility. It's the same thing with Pewds and everything that happened there. Because some idiot did something stupid and said his name, somehow he's at fault. And he took that seriously because all the media was like, oh, well, he said his name, so he must have had to do something to do with it. Of course he didn't. It was some idiot doing something idiots do. Joaquin Phoenix walked out of an interview after he was asked whether or not certain scenes of the Joker would inspire bad behavior in real life. The new film follows a man. Yes, Phoenix was asked by The Telegraph, of course, if he thought particular moments in the film might perversely end up inspiring people. According to the journalist Robbie Collin, as the actor left the room, he asked why he would ask such a question. This is why. Because they're already writing these articles anyway. Warner Brothers employees eventually managed to talk him into returning to complete the interview. Joker's director Todd Phillips recently revealed that Phoenix would walk off set in the middle of a take if he wasn't feeling it, worrying his co-stars. the debate over this type of thing, blah, 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 and brings up the hunt as well. Again, should have put that movie out too, because it would have made for excellent content. At the end of the day, of course, the whatever people do is their own decisions or their own problems manifesting themselves, and it shouldn't hold back art. But that won't stop people from trying to grab headlines and ask more ridiculous questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.